Hi, my name is Angelica. I am a relationship coach in Burlington, Ontario. And today I would like to introduce you to the feedback wheel, a communication tool that psychotherapist Terry Real mentions in his books. For example, in his book, The New Rules of Marriage. Dan Bosy, my colleague at Awakening Health here in Burlington, and I will demonstrate to you first how a conversation doesn't go so smoothly because we might use criticism and blame or generalized statements like always or never. And that, of course, triggers defensiveness in our partner and equally generalized statements from that partner. Afterwards, I will introduce you to the 4 steps of the feedback wheel. And then Dan and I will demonstrate again how to apply these 4 steps.
Do you always have to be on your phone? I go to all this trouble to book this nice restaurant, and you never appreciate it. You know, you really are addicted to your device.
What do you mean? Everybody's on their phone these days. I like to put nice pictures on Instagram, you know that. That doesn't make me addicted. And why are you so uptight? You complain about everything. You don't appreciate me.
Our little role play demonstrated how quickly a conversation can go wrong. Dan started with criticism and blame. He used generalized statements like always, never, instead of actually communicating from a place of more vulnerability, communicating his feelings. And of course, that triggered the same defensiveness and the same way of speaking with generalized statements in me, who was playing his partner in this scene. So the feedback wheel is a total game changer. We have 4 steps. Step number 1 is simply stating the observable behavior or behaviors. That statement needs to be so neutral that it is as if an objective camera is recording it. So no feelings in that, simply mentioning the topic that you want to address. So we're talking about what we saw or heard. Step number 2 is the first step where the speaker takes responsibility for their own reaction to what they observed. When we see something, we tend to make up a story about what we see. We give it an interpretation, a meaning. So when we share our thoughts that we had, we have to own them. We might want to say, what I made this mean, or the story I created from seeing this was. So we're sharing our inner monologue, and that enables our partner to understand how this issue affects the other person, how this issue affects us. And that actually creates empathy. Step number 3 are our feelings. Our thoughts create certain feelings. So again, in this step, we're fully owning the feelings we are experiencing. For example, a phrase that you could use is, I made myself feel, or the story I was telling myself made me feel. So no blaming the other person for how we're feeling. And then number 4, super important step, is the request for change I want to make. How do we know that it's a request and not a demand? Well, when we demand something, the other person can't say no or negotiate when and how they're doing something. With a request, we're leaving that open. It's possible to say no or to simply negotiate that someone can't do something right now, but is willing to do it at a later point. So let's now look at how Dan applies these 4 steps to the little role play that we created for you.
I noticed you've been often on the phone when we're out for dinner. what I mean is that it seems that you're not interested in talking to me, or that your phone is more important than having a conversation with us. And I feel hurt and frustrated when I assume that you're not interested in talking to me. Is it possible that we can agree to put our phones away during dinner so we can have a conversation focusing on us?
Of course. I'm so sorry you feel hurt and frustrated. It wasn't my intention to make you feel that I don't care about you or about our conversations. So thank you for letting me know.
Thank you for listening.
As we saw in these two role plays, communication can go wrong really quickly because our left brain likes to make up stories based on our past traumas, our insecurities, our limiting beliefs. It is easier to be judgmental of the other person than to own our feelings, which are always based on our thoughts. The male partner in this role play, played by my colleague Dan Bosy, felt ignored and had made up the story that she does not want to talk to him or connect with him. He believed her phone or her Instagram pictures to be more important than their relationship. Because feelings of rejection are uncomfortable, he shifted into judgment, we all do that, and accused her of having an addiction issue. Applying the 4 steps of the feedback wheel makes such a big difference because we own our part in the interaction and are able to show up as our adult self, or in other words, operate from our prefrontal cortex. When we respond from a triggered part, we often make up stories of why the other person is doing something or which of their character flaws is to blame for the behavior. Instead of self-righteously criticizing or accusing the other person and putting them into defensiveness, the feedback wheel helps us to stay conscious of our assumptions and own our assumption-based perspective of the situation. That allows our partner to remain open and hear how we feel and what changes we would like to see. Remember 2 prerequisites to approach your partner. Check that your nervous system is not activated so you can speak calmly. And second, make sure you have the full attention of your partner when you approach them. So enjoy practicing these 4 steps and let me know how it goes. If you and your partner want help improving your connection and interactions, reach out for a complimentary Zoom consultation. Just send me an email to greendoorrelaxation@yahoo.ca. Thank you for watching.